did you two come into the project?
Well, Emily was there. She was
Emily.
already in. Yeah, you talk about that.
I Greg brought me on to help. So Amy Feldman was the decorator who did the pilot,
Mhm.
and Greg knew that they probably wouldn't be doing the main show because Glinda would, what was the production designer's name? Glinda
Well,
Rivella
yeah.
Mhm.
would then go on to like do Frasier. So he got me on kind of as the shopper for Amy's shopper on the pilot. So then I was already in, and that was the agreement that I would decorate the show when it came back. So that's how I got in. And then Kelly, you tell how you got in.
I think Greg
I
left.
just got, I'd already done a few Disney shows. I'd done Raven's Home and Bunked. And I was, I guess, just kind of with the company for a bit and everything was going great. So Greg Hampson just called me up one day and he said, "Do you want to join us for Wizards?" And I didn't know Greg from anybody, but
Yeah.
he was so casual and delightful
I love
and
that.
was just like, "Come join us." And I said, "Okay."
But Jetta, you'd worked for Jetta and Scott, and they loved your
Yes.
work. So they were
Yes.
on the Wizards too.
I
I have
did know the showrunners for sure.
I have to say I interviewed this production designer Tracy Collins, I think 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago already. And she does Power Rangers.
Hmm.
And she's done Power Rangers for like years and years. First she started out in wardrobe and then she designed and then she took over. And I at first I was like, okay, let's talk. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, oh my God, the influence that like young adult and Disney and like Power Rangers and like all of these things I know had on me. And like the children who watch these programs are so influenced. Like I wanted like a Punky Brewster bedroom or a Clisser explains it all. Like I wanted all
Hmm.
those things. So I get so jealous when I see all your sets are so whimsical and colorful and just so imaginative and thinking like, God, that's such inspiration that you're giving to young adults. Like, do you do you think about that pressure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I would. I'd be like, oh God, does Target have this blanket? Because it might sell out. I don't know. Like,
I know. I know. It's definitely it's a huge conversation when you're starting any new Disney show because the words that are constantly used are inspirational, aspirational, and iconic.
oh wow, that's
And it's like, whoa, baby.
okay.
But it's the best kind of challenge because it just lets you flex every muscle you have in your creative mind, you know? So it's so fun working with Emily because I think, and I don't want to speak for you, but you seem to get as excited as I get.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
important.
like it's I'm like, what would be really cool is if we made her room look like, super textured and then get all these like magical crystals and Emily's like, "Oh my God, yeah," and we just like kind of geek out together a lot. So it's good.
It's really fun working in a magical world.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Even just looking at your sets and I think I had seen a bit of it like when it was just Waverly Place and then not I had not been like into this yet. And then after watching it, I thought, "Oh, my boys can watch this." Like also
Hmm.
there's a thing of like, "Oh, wow, I can introduce them to this." Like they'd be totally into wizards and stuff like this. For some reason they don't want to do Harry Potter, so this might be good to like break them into it. So, yeah, I mean, inspirational and colorful and fun and just really great sets. Bravo.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Because I skimmed most of the first season, and then yesterday I skimmed most of the second season too, just to see like sets and things. And God, you guys work. What is your shooting schedule like?
It's the same every week, which is very helpful because you can plan your life a little bit.
Oh,
So Mondays, they come in, we do a production meeting first, then the cast comes in, they do a table read, and then they rehearse on stage. So we're still prepping during all these meetings, like
Right.
construction and set deck. Like Emily and Colin and I are all in the meeting, but our teams are all busting their butts on stage for a while before the stage gets taken over for rehearsals. And then Tuesday they come in, they rehearse. We have a producers run through around like two or three. So basically, it's like theater. You move from set to set and they do the whole show in front of you so that the writers can see what jokes are landing, what blocking isn't working for the director. We can see, like, oh, that door needs to work better. Like they're opening that a lot, Like, and oh, it might be taking them too long to get from here to there. So maybe we, rework some of the dressing or just like whatever it is. But that helps us a ton. So then Wednesday, we can kind of revise anything that's needing revision in the sets. And then they rehearse all day again Wednesday. And then they do a network run through around the same time, like 2 o'clock or so. And Disney executives come and then they get network notes, and the writers might have to change a few things or not. And then we shoot all day Thursday, shoot Friday, unless there's an audience show,
Yeah.
then most of the shooting will happen Thursday, and then they might do a couple things Friday morning. But audience usually starts around 4 p.m., and then they shoot a couple live scenes in front of the audience, which is always, everyone loves that. Like
Yeah.
everybody, the energy that comes from the audience is just like so good for the cast and
Yeah.
everybody because you see everyone get excited about it.
Yeah.
So,
And like to unveil sets in front of an
hmm
audience, I think is an amazing thing. Like I,
hmm
'cause I've never worked in Merticam, so I don't know. But there must be like the oohs and ahs, or like, what could the scene be about? Because especially with you guys doing such interesting things and like at not normal things at a regular show. It's not at a coffee shop or a restaurant every other episode. So
hmm
that must be fun.
Yeah, that's
It's
really fun. And on our end, so like on Thursdays and Fridays while they're shooting, we're picking up all the stuff for the next
Yeah, you're
episode.
prepping while all that's happening. I mean,
Yeah.
you're working on two episodes at a time.
hmm
And
Yeah.
so basically on Monday, we're moving it quickly, like picking up and trying to move in most of the furniture so they have something to work with when they rehearse the next day. And then we just spend the next couple of days, especially in the mornings from like 6 to 8:30, getting as much work done dressing the sets as possible.
Let's talk about some of your dress sets. This was this is season one,
hmm
episode 121, I believe. And they're in these like dark caverns, caves and stuff. And how much space, I mean, I can imagine I've seen a multicam show, but you look like you have a large swing set space. Or is this a different stage?
no, this, we had one stage and one stage only.
Oh, wow.
So it was a lot of changeovers, which is a lot of work for construction and for set deck constantly. This one was really wide. I want to say the set was probably 30 to 40 feet wide, but it was not very deep because our stage didn't allow for that. So what I did a lot of times to make sets feel bigger was go as wide as possible and then just give them a lot of cool foreground elements and stuff so that they could kind of pull depth and get that. Um, but yeah, this was one of the larger ones. I wish it was taller,
Well,
but
they're kids, so at least you got some
yeah,
like
it helps. It really does help sometimes. But now they're so tall, they're getting so tall.
yeah.
So
Uh, this is a large scenic set you have here. I mean, with like the caverns and all the rock and the
Mhm.
spider webs and the greensmen coming in, I'm sure, and the rocks and
Mhm.
everything. I mean, what is this? You have three different versions of this set, maybe four. What is the turnaround? You pre-taped these.
Yes.
Yes. So then what
Um,
was your turnaround for getting it like like a swamp with rocks to like a cavern and then to like them hanging off a cliff? I mean, that's a big.
so that little cliff, I wanted to show you because I always think it's really fun when you do like
Yeah.
Batman type stuff.
Yeah.
So that was actually across the camera aisle on the other side,
So,
just against a blue screen. So we did the same vacuum form, the same foam. Basically, we took a bunch of vacuum forms and blended them so it wasn't like this really consistent pattern of rock. and then foam, like bead foam and shave and sand, and then all our scenic painters come in, and they're so talented. Our team is incredible. Um, so that's how we did all the rock, and then on the other side, we the good thing is that it was kind of like a big perimeter of rock, and then we did all the stalagmites and stalactites, and so we kind of moved. Those were all Lego, right? Like some of them you see hanging, we could
Right.
unscrew and move those. I think we focused mostly because of time. We focused on the ones on the ground, the stalagmites. So we were moving those around. Um, and then the bridge came in. I mean, it was kind of like the whole premise was kind of like a video game, like they were trying to cross this chasm in this cave. So we moved in the bridge. We moved in the stones that were built up. You can see the perimeter of the set is actually on steel deck. It's like a 7-inch rise off
Oh,
of the stage floor, which kind of helped with keeping the practical special effects fog in
right.
there like a barrier. And then we were able to hide those lights. Lighting hid those lights underneath to kind of. They did this cool thing when they were rehearsing, when they were jumping on the stones, because they were like jumping across the stones to
Right.
get across. We're in rehearsals. They helped the actors so much. Our DP Cliff like shot this like orange light up, so it felt like there was fire there, so the kids could play off of that. I thought that was so just great for the kids to have that to interact with because they don't get to see the finished VFX when they're doing these
Right.
performances. And they're so good, even if they don't see anything. But I think it just makes it more fun for everybody on the set. But
You
yeah, we
also
moved.
you have a lot of level of visual effects in the sets too, and allowing for those in the dressing and the design and everything. I mean, are there some scenes that you're getting more prep time because of that, because of intricate sort of like, oh, we have to do this gag where this happens, or is it just like, no, it's on Friday.
If we're lucky.
Yeah, we don't get any extra time for the more complicated
No.
stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I didn't
mean,
think so, but you never know.
in a perfect world, we'd have like shoot this version Thursday, shoot the next version Friday, but that rarely happens. It's usually Emily's crew or construction coming in over lunch,
Yeah.
and like, okay, move, 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 move. It's just
Yeah.
a little chaotic, but we
Yeah.
do it. They do it.
Like the
We get
early rock. Like little elves, they come back and it's a whole different set. Yep, been there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
that cave was a beautiful set, Kelly. There was not a lot of set dressing in there, so I didn't have a lot to do with that, but it turned out it was stunning and the stalactites and everything. It was gorgeous.
yeah, that is a
They You can, I don't know if you can see it in these pictures very well, but it was really fun to try to make. I love doing nature stuff.
Mhm.
It's like my favorite. So doing like the rocks and kind of, I wanted it to feel a little bit magical. So we would put like glitter or clear
Glitter.
tape or something in there so you can kind of see a shimmer when the light catches it right. I
Right.
just love, I think, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully in the episode it reads a little more, but yeah,
Sparkles.
it's real.
Sparkly.
Yeah, it was
Sparkly
really
stalactites.
sparkly. It was very crystally looking, which I think really suits a Wizards show too.
Yeah, I mean, it reads like on the back wall too. You can see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just a little shimmer.
Yeah. And then you have parties and you have colorful parties, especially in this episode. You have two parties. So
I loved this one, Emily. I loved it.
I love the dance floor. To me, I'm like,
Yes.
oh, yeah, the light up dance floor is like, I wish I could have.
Yeah. There's a lot going on this set. So, Mimi, the mother, is a Staten Island girl, and she basically decorated this to be her dream
Saturday Night
party
Fever.
when she was a teenager. This was like the most amazing thing that she could ever have wished for. So that is the first look, and she loves leopard print, animal prints. The dance floor, the classic Boogie Nights dance floor.
Yep.
Um, and all that. So that's what we brought to the table here. And then the actual look. And then she decided, okay, all right, we'll do it, just a pretty sweet look, more of a simple look for the actual birthday party that happened.
Yeah. I mean, and what is your turnover for this? Is this during lunch?
So basically, no, we had a little more time than lunch for this one. So that night we broke down the previous look that we just saw, the Staten Island look, and then the next morning we had it all prepped and ready to go. So the next morning we brought the balloon woman in.
Yeah.
She did her stuff. We had a little bit more time. We had a few hours to get this look complete before shooting that day.
God, I mean, I always dealing with balloons, which give great production value, but I'm always like, can't you just come with the balloons done? Get that? And then you have to stand, you have to watch them blow up the balloons, and it's like, do you know what time it is, right? Like you're gonna be done by this time, right? Like I sweat it every time we have to do, and they do. I mean, the balloon people are always great, but I get such anxiety about balloons. Yeah.
You probably did a lot of balloons on Veep, right?
Oh my God, so many balloon drops. I almost killed
Yeah.
Julia once with a balloon drop. We did, and Parks and Rec, so many I mean, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so stressful.
yeah, it is. And it's like the timing and the special effects and all that. The guy doing no, it's,
And one always pops and scares the living daylights out of everyone on
oh
stage,
yeah.
and it's the worst.
Oh yeah. I have a very good story I'll tell you another time about balloons popping and a producer freaking out.
Oh
But
no,
yes. But balloons are always they always look great. They always look
they
like
do.
they're money. But yeah.
It's
Hmm.
a cheap way. It's a cheap way to take up a lot of visual space
Yes.
for sure.
And color and to pop, pop, look at all those colors you got in there. That's a great like mix there and to give that party such a different feel.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, I love it. This lab you guys did is incredible. So this is a lab, and I mean, there's so many trinkets and little finds on all of the tables, and I mean, this is a very layered set. Like, how did you guys, what's your concept and how'd you get in on this? Like, how long did this take?
We were
So,
told, sorry, go ahead.
no, you go, Kelly.
I was just going to say, just what the conversation I'd had, this was at the end of the season, and everything was just a little bit, we were moving really fast. But I was talking with the showrunners, and they were like, we want it to look like it's a tower perched on the side of a cliff,
Hmm.
and it's scary. It's kind of like, Frankenstein-y, but also more magic than that. And so that's basically what I got, to design from. So that's what we did. And then in all my conversations with Emily, we were brainstorming together, and we both just agreed that everything needed to feel like it's kind of a running theme with this show. Everything needs to feel like it can just come alive.
Hmm.
It needs to be, and especially with this one, because they kept saying like laboratory, but also wizardy. So it was like everything needs to feel electric. And so, Emily, tell her about like some of the stuff you found because it's just so good.
So I love this set. I loved creating this set. I love anything. I see it as kind of like Frankenstein meets witch, and there's lots of, potion elements and just parchment paper printed with like cleared art that's very Da Vinci-esque of like these mad, you know, experiments and just like I just really got in character with this one and pictured what it would be like if I was like this crazy manic person who just wanted to create all this stuff and harness all the power and energy from wherever and just all the lights and different parts and machine parts and taking apart these vintage machines and making something else completely different and I love lights. Lights are my favorite.
Nice.
So
So many
the
lights.
lamps and stuff I found were yeah, that aspect of it was really fun. I think the electricians wanted to kill me on this one, but they agree that it looked good after everything was lit up. But yeah, just it just had it's full of energy and that was really, really fun. And books, of course, everywhere, and stacks of books. So I think it's like a great melding between like what a witch would create and what a mad scientist would create. And it was really, really fun to create this set, and I love it so much.
Well, and Emily always finds this great way of finding things that can kind of move. Like she's got wheels in there and she's got those plasma balls and like the kids, they're professionals, but they're still kids and they go in there and they're like, oh, cool, and they're like touching things and it helps them so much. Like it just, I say this all the time because it's like we're just making them a playground. We're
Oh,
just,
yeah.
it's just make them a playground that they can just become and play. And that's what you totally brought to this set. It was so much fun to look at and literally play with.
I think too what's so interesting is with this with your show and the magic and everything in it is you guys probably give them so much back when they walk into sets like this. Like it must be easier for them to act in. I mean, obviously adults too, but like as a child and walking into a set like this, and all of our process and reading it and then you're rehearsing it and blah blah blah. But when you get to the set and you see something like this, I would think as a child, you'd be like, oh, I really get this now. Like, oh, this is like, it must help them so much, I would think. Like,
That's the goal.
yeah. I mean, it's so fun and being able to touch things and, oh, my character would have, like, I guess someone thought about this besides me, and I just think it must be so great for them to walk into, like you're saying, like these playgrounds and be able to physically touch the things and it be so magical.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, one of the greatest rewards is when the actors say, "I love the room you guys created for us." This is exact, and I think we'll get to this part later, but when Selena Gomez mentioned to Kelly, "This is
Yeah.
exactly the apartment that I would live in, that my character would live in."
Oh, that's
You
great.
guys nailed it, and we're like, yes.
Always great to hear.
Yeah.
It's we spend as much time in these characters' heads as the actors do. So it's so important that we all meet up together. I love this
Yeah.
sconce that you have where it's a hand holding a lantern. That's like it's such a great detail. It's so
It's also a battle for Emily sometimes because she finds these incredible objects and things like that are just like, yes, this is so weird and magical and perfect. And then clearance comes along
oh,
and
oh
they
my God.
don't want you to use something from some prop house. And we hear them and we love them so much, but sometimes you're like,
I don't
please, please.
I don't love clearance people. There's one clearance guy I can tolerate, Lorenzo. But the rest of them, I think that they're I don't know. Like we're all trying to get this done and you're telling me like a store bar bought Halloween decoration is
Yeah.
not clearable. It doesn't make sense.
It
That
hurts the creative vision a lot. And
Yeah.
by the
there
way,
have,
these are all made in Taiwan. No one's gonna see it and sue you. Like this is it's
I
incredible.
know.
And
Crazy.
the funny story behind that sconce is I inherited that from my mentor, Lisa De Los Reyes, who actually decorated the original Wizards.
Hmm.
And so it was really great to get to use it here. I'm sure
Oh,
that
that's
appeared
great.
in the original Wizards somewhere.
Oh my God, that's a great little find. Did you have did you inherit dressing?
I inherited her kit, so
Oh
yeah.
wow, that's great.
Yeah,
That's cool. They
Emily was born for the show.
totally.
how many years between the shows?
I
5?
think it was like 15 years.
15? I was gonna say 15 years they hold on because usually other shows get to pick through and take everything once a show's over. I'm like pleasantly surprised that you got stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, she had her own kit that she had accumulated over the years of a few really cool items that that she came into these shows with that she kept. So some of the masks in the lair were I inherited from her, and we got to reuse those in the Wizards lair in the show.
Wow, that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, it was great.
Um, oh wait, I have more. I didn't realize. So the out and there is a scene in this oops, in this outside where they're looking in too, which was
Hmm.
cool, climbing over a wall and
Hmm.
so it's a two-sided set at least on one half.
Yeah, it was kind of tricky too because we had like no room on stage. Like I wanted this, I went through a couple versions of this layout trying to figure out how to give them enough room. I'm still not super happy with how close the star drop is to the set, but you make it work.
If I'm
Um,
believing if I'm believing the show, I'm believing the star psych. Okay, it's not.
but we did create like a little parapet wall for them to
Yeah,
climb over. And that was the big thing. And then just making sure, the windowsills are low enough that they can realistically hoist
whoever.
themselves
Yeah,
into, so it's always measuring a lot. It's a lot of me and my art director in our office, like holding a tape measure and going, "Can you get your leg over that?" Just like, figuring it out.
yeah. How tall are they? Like sometimes you'll put like how tall the actors are, like on my
Mhm.
like by the doorway, and be like, "Oh, is that too big for him or whatever?" But
Yeah.
yeah,
I have
um,
in my SketchUp models, I have to scale height. Like I steal the photos that costumes takes when they're doing
oh
fittings, and then I
yeah.
scale the actors to their real, put them in the
What
model so I can see.
what programs are you using?
For my concept models, I use SketchUp because it's so fast and I can texture it and color it so quickly and I literally give those to Emily and I'm like, this is the vibe. Let's talk about it. And it just makes everything so much easier. And then when we do construction drawings, the set designers use Vectorworks.
Vector. Wow. And you have one art director in the team?
Yeah, we have the art department's so small. It's me and our assistant art director, Kelsey Drew Howard. And we have a graphic artist,
Which
Coley Buck.
which a it's a weird thing because they call them assistant art directors. They're really art directors.
Hmm.
It's just because of the contract. It's such a weird, stupid thing. But
It's
um,
a weird thing.
yeah. And then set designers, and then Emily, you have a lead and four-ish.
So I have a lead in two and an onset.
Two, two.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you
We get to hire day players sometimes, which is nice.
sometimes for this
Yeah,
Yeah.
these
set, you
these
had two guys,
And girls.
girls. Wowzers. Do you get a buyer every once in a while? Something? No?
Every once in a while, if we're really up against the wall with time and it's a huge set, yeah, I
I
do.
that scares me. Scares me to be that
the
light.
like it's crazy. I mean, we get I don't know, I kind of had to fight tooth and
Bravo.
nail just to get a graphic artist, and then she's always like, I mean, her team is just running ragged all the
Yeah.
time. They're exhausted at the end of the day.
I think it's always hard to like get the graphic designer days. I find more so lately. And to ask for a graphic designer just for set deck is like basically a no-no at this point. You're like they
I
just
mean, graphics is arguably the busiest position on the show
oh
because it's everybody. It's art, it's set deck,
yeah.
it's
Props.
costumes, it's props,
Yeah.
and then production's always like, "Can you make me an invitation?"
Yeah.
You know? So it's like it's just
Yeah.
it's constant. And I did, our props to our production team. They did let me have a full-time graphic artist this past season, and it proved to be 100% necessary every single day. So,
I
Mhm.
mean,
but normally that's not the case.
it's so much, and it's little things that no one ever thinks of. And I'm sure even like these pictures or whatever, they have to be cleared and everything, or they have to be sized if you wanted them sized or whatever. Like they help out with that even, but ugh,
Yeah,
yeah,
and Kelsey's up there, our assistant art director, she's up there like working with Coley, scaling things to size and printing it in-house and cutting it out. And it's just like it's so fast.
yeah,
It's just, yeah, these two-person art departments, these little crews, I should say, on these multicams, it's part of the reason why I love it so much is because if you can do this, I think you can do anything because you
yeah,
have to do it so fast. And a lot of times people are like, oh, it's small, is blah blah blah. But I'm like, the production value that I'm so proud of our team for creating every week. I'm like, imagine what we could do with more people and more money.
yeah. I know
Yeah,
more
right.
people, more money. I mean, it's unreal. It's really crazy how we can all get it done. It really is, and consistently every week. you know.
Hmm.
A lot of weeks I only have 2 days to shop the next episode because I'm so busy dressing the sets and there's so much to get done in those 3 days, you
I,
know?
that's it's painful. It's painful, but like in a sense of like the stress of I know I have to do something else and I'm doing this and I can't enjoy what I'm doing right now because I got to get on to the next thing. At least
Yeah.
that's how I feel a lot of like I want to spend time in this set right now, but I got to get to blah blah blah. Like that's always
It's knowing when to switch, right?
yeah.
It's like knowing when to refocus on something else. It's like playing a sport.
Yeah. Yeah, you're constantly judging priorities and what's coming next. I I saw so many articles in the last couple of days, maybe it's just on my in my head about your show. It's
Hmm.
great. So
Season
much.
two just dropped on Disney
Yes.
Plus. That's why, yeah.
Yes. And so I was like, well, should we talk about the end of the season? But they
I
dropped
think
it
you
all at
can.
once. So, I mean, I'm just going for it, I feel like.
It's
Yeah,
out,
I
we can
think
do it.
Yeah.
the rule is if it's aired, you can talk about it.
Yeah. I always try, I mean, I could tell people right now, if you haven't watched the ending, maybe skip ahead a little and we'll get back to you. But this apartment that you created is wonderful. Also, is this the same footprint as the cave?
No, actually, this is opposite. This is right across from the cave. So we actually did strike some sets to make room for this. Our permanent set, the Russo Wizard Lair, we had to strike to make room for this because it's a bigger apartment set. I'm guessing, I'm trying to remember. I think this was like 35 feet wide.
This is Alex's adult apartment.
Hmm.
And
Which it
as you said, Selena Gomez really enjoyed it, which is always a compliment. I mean, that's always,
was huge.
yeah.
This this was a set that kept me up for weeks because I knew it was coming
Mm,
and I did so much research into Alex's character from the original Wizards, but also there were a lot of people to please with this one because it's not just Alex Russo from the original Wizards. It's Selena Gomez, the most famous woman in the world.
yeah.
So it's like, or one of at least the most famous
Well, the
people in the
most
world.
follow, I mean, she's one of the most followed people on Instagram, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really important to me that we honored who her character was while also bringing in elements like that felt appropriate for the person she is, which is someone who lives with such grace. And she's a beauty icon and she's very glamorous, but she's also super humble. So
Mm,
it needed to feel like I wanted people to look at this and go, wow, this is beautiful, but also something's kind of weird. You know? Like she is kind of, I mean, all these characters in Wizards are kind of out in the world passing as mortals or as normal people, right?
mm,
But they're wizards, they're magical. So when you enter their personal space, you need to feel like anything like that apartment lives and breathes on its own. And she has made it and she has created it over years of magic, right? Like old Alex Russo from Original Wizards, does she like to read? No. She's like, I'd rather die than sit down and read a book. But adult Alex Russo has specific books that are important to her that she has used. She learned from her shenanigans and her mistakes. So she does have some books now, but she keeps them on a very whimsical, magical bookcase that wraps around her window. Um, Everything in that place I wanted to feel kind of tied to nature. That's why you see a lot of real wood. Her doors are carved, her kitchen counters are that live edge
hmm
that I found at this
Beautiful.
wonderful place. I love a live edge countertop, and so I wanted everything in that apartment to have an interesting shape and to feel like it could wiggle or move or breathe, you know. So that live edge really was awesome. And we put her stove hood is kind of a unique shape. She has a moon-shaped skylight with stained glass in it, and
So pretty.
brass inlays in her front door, and even the I don't know if you can really tell in this photo, but like her checkered floor pattern is like a kind of an organic shape. It's not just like a square. So anything we could do, we put the hardware on her kitchen cabinets are dragonflies because in my research I found Selena cooking in her real life kitchen and she had dragonfly cabinet poles and I was like, we got to get those. And we
Oh,
put stuff like that all over the apartment in hopes that she would be like, oh my God.
yeah. No,
Um, and she did. I mean, every time she came onto the stage, she would come and she would sit on her sofa, that beautiful sofa that Emily found.
no.
And she just gravitated toward the space. And one day I was in there, futzing with something. And she turned to me and she was like, she introduced herself. She's just like, I know who you are, but you're so lovely. And she was like, are you the production designer? And I was like, yeah, I'm Kelly. Nice to meet you. And she said, this set is stunning. She was like, this is so Alex. And I swear, like I went through a lot of anxiety trying to get this one just right. It was really important to me. It was really important to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have Gary Marsh from the original Wizards on our show, and I had so many conversations with him. I really wanted him to be happy, like he's such a
Yeah.
nice guy. And I was like, oh, I want this to like hit for you. I want you to feel like you're back. And
Yeah.
so when she said that, I'm not even kidding. I like welled up and I was like, I'm sorry. That means a lot to me. It was just so, so nice because we put so much thought into it. And Emily just, I mean, you should talk about some of the stuff in here because you just brought so much energy to this.
You have so many textures and so many like little, oh, I keep going backwards, little gems and these little nooks and everything that you were able
Mhm.
to put furniture in and still pop color and get fabrics and I mean the woods and the bricks and everything. It's like, but it all feels like it's meant to be. It's such a great decorated space.
Oh, thank you so much. This was a really fun set, and a lot of time and effort went into, like Kelly said, thinking about this and what would this character do. And, we did want it to feel alive. And I wanted it to seem like anything you could pick up could have a spell cast on it and suddenly start moving, or everything, a lot of things in there are really cool, but just a little like not really what you would find in someone like a regular, like a muggle's house.
Right.
So, plants growing out of drawers and, you know, um, just like really interesting, whimsical elements, lots of geodes and
So
crystal orbs and pillows with eyes and just, but at the same time, really happy and warm because I think Selena really embraces that kind of warmth and just like this inclusive attitude, So I really wanted to bring that too.
mhm.
Um, and just have it be happy, and lots of color. And she's a happy witch. And
Yeah.
I think, and I love in the kitchen that there are plants everywhere. In the kitchen, there's a terrarium, there are herbs, there are apothecary jars. A lot of the stuff I actually borrowed from the lair because I'm like, yeah, she would have taken this from the lair. Like just crystal balls and orbs and different apothecary jars. And, in her kitchen, there's food and then there's a bunch of herbs to make spells with. And it was just really fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of plants, which gives such life and like the greenery really pops off of everything and
We
then
had a lot of conversation about that. We're like, it needs to feel alive. And so Emily brought it. I brought it with the woods and, the organic shapes. And then she brought all these beautiful plants in, and it did exactly what I was hoping it would do.
this little outside terrace that you have that they have a really nice scene out there too and get to use the space, which is nice. Did you design that and they used it or did they say that was that scripted like she's got a terrace, like get them out of there?
It was a conversation. We knew we needed, there's usually, especially when Selena comes to the show, there's a lot of breakaway conversations of like her and Justin or her and Billy. And so they need a place to go to have a conversation where no one else can hear them. So this was definitely something that they asked for. Um, it always evolves, of course, and it's always like, well, where are they going to sit? And are they going to be too close to the backing if they sit in the back? Or can they come forward? Or, like it's a lot of that I struggle with just visually. But yeah, it was a set that was asked for, and I wanted to make sure that the like everything else in the set, that the railing wasn't too basic, I guess. I wanted it to have a little
Yeah.
something something to it, but also we had not, like many things, I think we had 2 weeks to do this set. So we had a welder come in and do that, and I was kind of at the mercy of what parts I could find,
Oh, I love
in the time.
it. It's also magical with the roundness of it, and it's not, and it has like a great decor and design in it. I think too, just oops. I think too, just the artwork to me, and like you were saying, like you have the pillows with the eyes, or like all of the pottery seems to have life to it. And I mean, Emily, when you're sourcing all these, are you just like looking for faces? Are you looking for like, are
I
you?
just I kind of channel the character when I'm just in the mode, and I just like I think about who this person is and what they would be like when Alex goes out on her own. And I just then I look at everything with those eyes. There it is, there it is. And I just pull the unique stuff that I think will hopefully all look good together.
Don't you find it like in a year you're gonna be you shop something, you're like, "Pff, that just would have been great for Alex's, and it's here now," and I
Totally.
always happens to me. I'm like, where were you a year ago? Pot. Like,
I
run.
really wanted. We had limited time, of course, but I had a week to shop this because we were on hiatus the week before it shot. So, but I couldn't find a witch's broom. It was in the middle of summer. Like I had so much other stuff to do that I just kind of put it on the back burner. But I really wanted a witch's broom for that umbrella stand near the door, and I never found it.
I love
You
that
got the
boot thing though.
boots. You
I
got the
mean,
boots. I mean, that's
I
much better.
it's so good.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
Did you have the mirror that's inset here? Was that asked for?
Mhm. So that's a portal, actually. It's kind of is just like the one that is in the
Oh,
living
that's right.
the living room of the house. They actually, that's on a hinge in the
Oh,
center, and they walk through it. But we did build that the night before we shot
right.
because it wasn't written in yet. And so they said we need a portal in Alex's, and I'm going, I mean, you can see the set. There's something on every wall. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. And so Emily's out running around trying to find a full length mirror. And we had a mirror going there, but it wasn't going to be something they could walk through.
Right.
So we were like, okay, we just have to make this work. So I was like, it can't be boring. And
Yeah.
I don't have time to sit here and do this crazy, like, I really wanted like a wavy kind of organic thing, but we landed on this with the time that we had, and it's basically just a super deep window with a hinging mirror in the middle and a green screen on the other side.
Mm.
And it's a wing wall,
It's
so that
solved.
was weird.
It's solved. It's solved the problem.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
The
really
guys
good.
came in early that morning.
Bravo on this. And also your color, you got color in the windows, which is
Hmm.
nice. And that's it's not blown out, so you can actually see the colors, which is really nice too. I think they
Yeah, those windows, there were a lot of people that wanted certain specific elements, and we had one producer that was really important in that we had like a few gothic elements. So I wanted to add like a little stained glass, and then we weren't able to do it in the downstage French doors because the door swing changed. But I
mm,
had these beautiful gothic brackets that I put in the upper corners. They're up in the bookcase window, but anyway, yeah, it was trying to make those windows a little magical too. Like everything could kind of feel like some sort of portal. Yeah, they're in there. Subtle, but they're there.
beautiful. I know, don't you wish like They're gonna be in the set every episode, right? You know,
I
please.
know. We did get to shoot that one for 2 weeks, so that was nice because normally the swing sets, like you put your whole blood,
Yeah,
heart, soul, tears, everything into it, and you're like, all right, tear it down, But this one we got to shoot twice.
yeah. I've done a lot of work for an eighth of a page.
Yeah.
Um, the the throwback set that you got to do, the Subway sandwich shop, was that fun to kind of go back? Did you have drawings of what it was?
We did not have drawings,
No,
but we did have
just a
me and Kelsey and I watched a lot of Wizards and took screen grabs.
yeah.
That's what we did. Um, this was a set that was originally designed by Michael Hines, who is like a Disney legend. He
Mhm.
did a lot of wonderful, beautiful shows for them. There's a lot of custom detail in this set. So we ended up doing it. We were doing this, but we were also doing it like as if it were in the upside down,
Right, right.
super scary. It's like it's been abandoned and yeah. So here it is. And I went hard on this. Like I was like, oh, it's Disney. Are they gonna think it's too crazy? But they loved it. And one of our Scott Thomas, one of our showrunners, is like a horror author. So he was directing one time that we did this, he was directing for our Halloween episode and he was like really happy with it. So I was like, if you're happy, I know we've done it, you know? But yeah, we did it. We replicated the tiles in the columns and the little appliques above the windows there and that kind of like header. The molding and stuff, we were just kind of studying and zooming in and seeing if we could make it exactly the same, but a lot of it was graphically done. Like
Mhm.
Coley and Kelsey got together to make the tile patterns for the top, and then we basically had them CNC'd out of MDF and
Mhm.
printed right on the MDF, and then we cracked it all. Like the construction guys, Colin and his team, they just cracked it all up and made it look busted. And then our painters are crazy good. They just get it.
Painters are
I'm
great.
like,
I mean, your greens people are great too.
oh my God, Pete is the most passionate, enthusiastic greensman you'll ever meet in your entire life. And I think he's the best greensman in all of Hollywood. And I don't know how I got so lucky, but he's like a friend and a teammate. And he just loves playing with trees and twigs and dirt so much.
Yeah. I mean, he's really because it's not too much and it looks dead. And
Hmm.
it's like not too much, which I find like sometimes like like you're like, dude, dude,
Yeah.
you gotta take this down a notch. Like it's a forest or something. Like you have to, but this seems to be such a great like level that is there of old growth and making it all look decayed and everything and lends so much to the set. It's great.
Yeah. With both him and our painters and like all of our construction, they're so artistic in their own right, and then they love to collaborate. So we're just constantly talking. We're like, oh, it needs a little more here, a little less, like it's just they're really the best.
Yeah. I mean, when everybody's into it, it's great. It really
Yeah.
is.
And
Yeah.
it shows. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
shows. Because
Oh,
I come down
definitely.
and they're like, we tried something. What do you think? And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I love it, but maybe not there. And then sometimes I'm like, this is freaking perfect. I could have never, like it's amazing. They're
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I love this set. This set's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I mean, oh wait, destruction sets are kind of my favorite too to do. Just like, how can I burn this piano? Or how can I, unfortunately I have to break all these chairs or something. And you're like, how, this is great.
I was so delighted with what Emily did with this because I'm sitting here going, it's abandoned. There isn't a lot of dressing. And I remember talking to you about it, and I was like, I'm not really sure. Like, we should have some stuff, but I don't know. And you just like did it. You just handled it. You were like, yep, receipts and old food wrappers because it's a sandwich shop and creepy candles. And I think I remember you guys even like burning the edges of the candles to make them look like they were gross and like old and used. And I'm just like, beautiful. Beautiful. Love it.
Yeah. Like people have gone in there and squatted, and done all
Yeah.
this stuff. And it's like little living spaces. In LA, it's easy to kind of get a visual of what that would
Yeah,
look like.
unfortunately. It's yeah, there's research everywhere. So that's a bummer. But no, it's a great set. Really great. Love it. Uh
Finding newspapers to do windows is hard.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Newspapers aren't really a thing. I remember
and
sending
expensive.
RPA out.
Like you go buy
Yeah,
newspapers now, they're expensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I'm like, oh, I should just do like Amazon boxes.
Um,
But you can't put Amazon on anything.
no, reverse it.
That's right.
Um, and then you have this nice prestige set and
Hmm.
it's
Same week.
same week. Oh my God, that's right. Well, same episode, yeah.
Hmm.
So, did you have is all of this on one stage?
All of this, yeah, the sandwich shop, the exterior, Wizard Academy, and this, and Alex's apartment were all on stage at the same time.
We had to
Wow.
get rid of a couple really big
Yeah.
permanent sets, like the school and the
The
school hall.
school was the space that this set and the Wizard Academy and the sub shop were taking up. And then this Wizard Academy was mostly in the space where the backyard of the house was.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was a lot. It was like construction and set. Everybody were just
You're going
coming in
for
early and yeah, it was a lot.
yeah. Because they're not small sets. That's why I keep asking because I'm sort of like, oh, did you guys get an extra stage for this? This is a big set, but it's crazy. You guys do these really big sets. This and
It's nesting dolls, really.
yeah. Um, can you talk about the decor of this, Kelly, and what you're, I mean, you've got some really beautiful wooden furniture here and those chairs. I love those chairs.
Yeah, Emily, you found some really amazing stuff. Where do you find these things?
Yeah,
Warner
Warner
Brothers?
Brothers. Warner
Warner
Brothers
Brothers?
has a lot of really cool period stuff that suits this look of the wizarding world.
And the sconces are fantastic also.
Emily always finds the best sconces. And then they even found these bulbs that flicker like flame, which, at first I was a little wary of because I never want it to look like what it is, but they looked really
Come a
good on
long
camera.
way. They've come a
Cool.
Yeah,
long way. They look a
yeah,
lot better. Um,
yeah.
what was the design thought process of having the texture on the wall? Because
Well, yeah, so there are a few things. One thing is, due to time and money, I'm often asked to reuse scenery.
yes.
Often.
Yes.
Um, so my consistent challenge is to try to give old scenery fresh, new looks that are different. So these stone walls in the wizard world, a lot of things are very castle-y and gothic. So we had a lot of stone walls, but I was kind of tired of looking at them. We'd used them for a Battle of the Wands arena,
Hmm.
which was about as big as the caves. It was a big room where they did like this big magic wand battle. Um, so for this, I was like, this is the Wizard Tribunal. It's a tower and it's in the same world, but it needs to look a little bit older too. Like maybe it has some layers to it. So we added this plaster look to those stone walls because they weren't coming back. We weren't doing that set
Right.
again. So we added this extra layer, and I kind of like how it gave it like just a lot more age in life. It's a
Yeah.
lot more interesting than just a stone wall. Um,
No, I
so
thought,
yeah, it was a way to make it feel old and like a totally different place.
yeah, I like that. It breaks it up a lot, and it's not just like
Hmm.
stone, 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 stone. Like that's really nice. And I'm wondering too about because when you put scenery into a scene dock, it
Hmm.
never comes out the same.
Hmm.
There's wear and tear and how long it's been there and how it got smushed in there and how it was packed and everything. So I think even when you look through a catalog and you think, oh, that wall's going to be great, it's not. When
Hmm.
you got to go, you got to go look at it. It's the same thing with us with decorating. Like, oh, that chair looks great online, and then you go and you're like, this is a totally different color than the picture.
Yeah.
So, online shopping helps us or cataloging or whatever, but always like you have to touch it, you have to feel it, you gotta look at it, and then that's part of our,
Scratch and sniff.
yeah, it's part of our job. Great. Sometimes you find many other wonderful things while you're looking at something you came for. Uh,
hmm
but yeah, these are just really such whimsical sets. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous you guys.
Working in kids TV is always an adventure, and then I've been fortunate to work on a couple that are just really different. Like it's not a living room and a kitchen. It's
Yeah.
a wizard tribunal and a wizard lab I mean, all the stuff we've talked about today. It's just so unique
So
and it's
fun.
Did
so
you
fun.
do you have an influence of like when you were growing up, a set or a show that influenced you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's other than the fact that I love the lifestyle and I love the way that working on multicams is such a team sport. I grew up watching them. Like I am a Friday night TGIF girl. Like
Yes.
I watched all those shows as a kid. I watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which
Yes.
reminds me a lot of this. It's a lot of the magic. It's a lot of this really, and Clarissa explains it all. Why am I geeking out over Melissa Joan Hart right now? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know.
But that's who I grew up with, and I thought she was very cool.
Yes.
And
So did I.
so those sets are like all those family multicams. I watched all of them and I loved all of them. And I really did the way you were saying, like we get to design the things that kids wish for and hope for it. Like I was that kid.
Oh, that's so sweet. Me, I'm a Gen Xer who got locked out of the house until the street lights came on, so I didn't really watch much TV after school. I was into movies. I was allowed to go down to the movie theater, and I loved like Legend, like the fantasy
Oh yeah.
movies, Never Ending Story, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was so good.
I would have to say Goonies to me is such an influence of like filmmaking and fantasy and like thinking about like later on like, oh, I want to do what they did in Goonies, like things like that. I'm like,
So
how did they do that?
we so Goonies is my favorite movie of all time.
I'm with you.
And when I was working on Bunked, they wrote a Goonies episode and I nearly died. I was so excited. I got to make caves similar to this cave, but very different, with like treasure in them
Oh,
and a door that went down like a work like oh my God, we had a piano that they had to
oh,
play. Like
right.
I was in the clouds for like 2 weeks. It
Oh,
was the best thing. It was so cool. I had the best time.
oh, that's awesome. As a designer or like decorator, like if those come up, it's like, how did they know? How did they know in my head this is what I want to do?
Yeah. No, it was a gift.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask was I saw that you guys had made some changes to the perm sets from first and second season. Was
Mm.
that like, hey, let's bounce some more color? Was that like, oh, we're just, they've evolved, it's been some time gone by or whatever? Like, and how do you stay true to, because I always find that difficult, to be honest, when they're like, well, some time has passed, and I'm like, yeah, but people don't decorate. People don't. No, we got the same shit year after year in my house.
Well,
People
Billy's
just,
room specifically,
yeah.
Billy's room was because she started out as a guest in that house, so it made it a little bit easier because she was kind of moving into a multi-purpose room that was kind of like their gym, their guest room, their office. So Emily had it dressed perfectly to be that set. And then Giada, the mom, was trying to make it more, tailored to Billy, but she didn't understand that she was like a wizard. She thought she just liked wizard themed things.
Hmm.
And she thought she liked Wanda Sykes because at one point she goes, I love my Wanda Sykes, So we had like a picture of Wanda Sykes in the back of the set, which
That's
was
really
totally
funny.
random. We had like Washington Wizards posters up, and she had a Washington Wizards like throw on her bed and stuff. So it was a little bit of a sneaky move on me and Emily's part because we had such grand ideas for Billy's bedroom because, she's kind of taken the passed the wand down from Selena, so she's taken it, and now she's the main character. And we wanted to make her this really cool teenage wizard. And we had these beautiful vision boards with all these bold, like deep purples, which I did do that with the walls and a lot of texture, but like teals and golds and crystals and macrame and Emily she'd purchased and shopped all this stuff already. She had this gorgeous headboard and these beautiful fabrics she wanted to hang down, and we kind of had to work it in so gradually so that no one was shocked.
Right.
And then I remember at one point I got a text from the EP, and he was like, "Where's Wanda?"
Oh,
And I was like,
oh
well,
no.
I think
I'm
Billy
surprised
has
you had it
taken
cleared. I'm surprised you got it cleared, to be quite
it was
honest.
a thing. It was a
Yeah.
thing. It was getting images. We paid for the image,
Oh,
so it
well,
was
then you're free.
all on
You're
the
good.
up and up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wanda's absence was noticed.
Wow.
And I just explained, I was like, we love her. If you want her back, you can have her. But we just thought that Billy would have taken over her room by now. And he was
Mhm.
like, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
That's awesome.
So